Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to welcome you to County Court at Law Number 2. My name is Judge Terrence Holmes. I'm the presiding judge here in County Court at Law Number 2. This morning, we have two dockets. We have our MTRP docket. MTRP means motion to revoke probation. And we also have our announcement docket. Now, when I call your name, we will ask that you will come before the bench, in front of the bench, with your attorney. If your attorney is not here, your attorney is probably in another court handling another matter. So therefore, we will wait for your attorney to arrive. Now, if you do not have an attorney and then you are representing yourself, when we call your name, you will just come before the court by yourself. The first case is Ronnie Pate. Mr. Pate, you can come forward. Mr. Pate, your full name is Ronnie Pate?
Ronnie Pate Jr., Your Honor.
All right, how are you doing, Mr. Pate?
I'm better today.
Well, that's good. Now, Mr. Pate, okay, now, last week you appeared on Zoom, is that correct?
Yeah, yes, sir. I appeared on Zoom.
And that was for the arraignment?
That was for, I was sick at the
Right.
time, yes.
Right.
And was rescheduled.
Well, okay, we rescheduled you to come here today, but I think on last week, we had an arraignment and the court basically, you zoomed in on the arraignment and you listened to the court tell everyone what their rights are, what their options are, what their and the case that they also have been charged with. Now, on this day, there may be some paperwork, well, there's some paperwork that you have to sign.
Yes, sir.
There's a document that is called Judge's Explanation of Rights to Defendants Without Attorney. And with that document, it tells you what your rights are as a defendant in a criminal case. Basically, the form informs you that you have a right to have an attorney, and the form basically states that regarding your right to have an attorney, you have three options. Number one, you can hire an attorney. Number two, if you cannot afford to hire an attorney, you may request that an attorney be appointed to you by the court. And number three, if you want to represent yourself, you can waive your right to have an attorney or give up your right to have an attorney and represent yourself. Now, if you want an attorney, you have enough money to hire an attorney, your case will be reset. Reset means that you will be given another court date to hire your attorney.
Okay.
Now, if you want an attorney, but you do not have enough money to hire an attorney, you would have to first fill out a financial questionnaire so that the court can determine whether or not you qualify for a court-appointed attorney.
Sir.
And that financial questionnaire is a document that we're going to provide to you on a clipboard. You would have to fill out the first page and then half of the second page. The bottom part of the second page, I will fill that out, and then I will fill out the third page. Okay. Now, if you want to represent yourself, you will have an opportunity to talk to one of the prosecutors. The prosecutors work for the district attorney's office. They are called assistant district attorneys. And the reason why you'll be able to talk to them, because at that point, you will be representing yourself. In essence, you'll be acting as your own attorney. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
So you'll have an opportunity to talk to them to see if you can reach a settlement on your case. We call that a plea bargain. Now, you should be aware that there are dangers and disadvantages of self-representation. Waiving your right to an attorney and representing yourself may result in an outcome that may be harmful to you or may be harmful to your case. Now, also, there are disadvantages of representing yourself. For example, you may not be able to enter into the military. You may not be able to possess a firearm. You may lose rights regarding the custody of a child or children. It may affect you regarding employment. It may affect you as to your rights to possess a firearm, and also it may affect your ability to get or receive public housing. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Now, if you decide to represent yourself, you may change your mind at any time and request that an attorney be appointed to represent you. Now, at the bottom of the document that you'll be reviewing the judge's explanation of rights to defendants without an attorney, in bold letters, it states defendant's choice. Mark initials next to only one choice. Now, if your choice is to hire your own attorney, then you'll place your initials on the first line to the left at the bottom of that document. If you have already hired an attorney, then you'll place your initials on the second line to the left and the name of the attorney on the line to the right. If you would like to request a court-appointed attorney, then you will place your initials on the third line to the left. Now, if you have already been appointed a court-appointed attorney in your case, then you will place your initials on the fourth line to the left and the name of the attorney on the line to the right. If your choice is to represent yourself, that is to waive your right to an attorney and represent yourself, then you'll place your initials on the fifth line, which is the last line to the left. Now, once you finish initialing one of the 5 lines, then you will sign your name at the bottom of that document on the line that's titled defendant, and you will date it today's date, September 24th. Now, do we have any the judge's explanations of rights that we can hand to him? Do we have any up there or over here? And
There's that one or that whole thing?
we maybe give him the whole thing, the waiver, judge's explanation, Jefferson County affidavit of insurance. Okay, so you want to just give him 2 then. He say he want the affidavit and the judge's explanation. And now, so she's going to give you a clipboard and a pen, and then you'll take your seat, fill it out, and then when you finish with it, you'll just get our attention, and we'll call you back up, we'll look at it, and then we'll decide whether or not you qualify for a court-appointed attorney.
Yes, sir, Your Honor.
Okay, so at this time, you just go back and take your seat, she'll bring it to you.
Yes, sir.
Okay, we just have a clipboard. Most of those pens are over here. Caleb Moore. Mr. Moore, your full name is Caleb D. Miney Lee Moore. How are you doing, Mr. Moore? That's good. Now, Mr. Moore, last time you were here, your case was reset for you to hire an attorney. Have you hired your attorney?
Yes, sir.
You have? Who have you hired?
Right.
You've hired. Have we received a letter from Wright? We need to see if he sent in a letter of representation
Mhm.
informing the court that he was retained to represent you. If he has not, then we would have to reset this case to give him time to get that letter to
I
us.
think he sent it, he sent it to me, basically, sent it to you.
He sent it to you.
Send the email to my secretary.
Okay.
You called it yesterday.
He did? Okay. Okay, your case is gonna be reset. I don't think Mr. Kimler gonna be here.
He came right in.
I wonder if
Yeah, there's one, he's on here.
he is,
On our
just have a
radar.
seat. He should be appearing today.
No, he didn't, we didn't get it till 10 o'clock last night.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, she's saying Kimberly is gonna be in court, so he can make an announcement as to what he
Okay.
wants to do. Yeah, just have a seat.
Well, you know, I'm not going to be.
Okay. Jordan Marcus DeRoot. Is he? How are you doing, Mr. DeRoot? I'm doing fine, thanks for asking. Now, the state is represented in this case by Attorney Haley Simmons. Attorney Simmons, how are you doing?
I'm great, Judge. How are you?
I'm doing fine. Now, Ms. Simmons, I see there's a note on the docket sheet stating that the state was going to speak with the victims before.
That's correct, Your Honor, and I have spoken with the victim. I just need a moment to speak with the defendant.
Okay, now is he's pro se?
He is, Judge, at arraignment. We haven't spoken.
Okay, just have a seat. Jaden Riley? Okay. Oh, you don't have it ready? Oh, just have a seat. We'll call you back up. Okay, hold on. You say you have. Okay, let me,
Okay, stay. You want on there? Okay.
what docket is that on? It's on the announcement. And, what's the case? I just need, you said Keeling? Gotta wait for this to come up. Yeah. Earl Keeling. Mr. Lawrence, Earl Keeling.
Oh, I'm sorry, Sure.
What is the session in cause number 23CCC Aura 1202? Case is styled the state of Texas versus Earl Keeling. Mr. Keeling, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Keeling, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Keeling, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Keeling, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Mr. Keeling? You doing all right? That's good. Now, Mr. Keeling, you're represented in your case by your attorney, Attorney Jack Lawrence. Attorney Lawrence, how are you doing?
Just fine, Your Honor.
And Mr. Lawrence, do you waive a record in Mr. Keeling's case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Keeling, the state is represented in this case by Attorney Andrew Hubel. Attorney Hubel, how are you doing?
I'm doing well, Judge, and yourself?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Mr. Keeling, I have before me a document on my computer that is titled Information Sheet. This information sheet was filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office. In this information sheet, Mr. Keeling, it alleges that you, Earl Keeling, on or about June 8th of 2023, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed the Class B misdemeanor offense of theft. Mr. Keeling, do you understand what you've been charged with? And to this charge, Mr. Keeling, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
Now, are you pleading no contest freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
And are you pleading no contest because you do not wish to fight or contest the charges?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Keeling, I also have a document on my tablet that is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishments, is also labeled as State's Exhibit Number 1. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
On page 2 of this same document, there are a set of initials, EK, that are placed on a line next to a box that is checked nolo contendere, which means no contest. Did you place your initials on this document?
Yes, sir.
Signature above the line that is titled Defendant. Is this your signature?
Yes, sir.
And on the next document that is titled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal, do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant?
Yes, sir.
At the top of this document, there are 2 boxes checked. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargaining case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that statement?
Yes, sir.
The second box that's checked states that you're waiving your right to an appeal, which means you are giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that statement?
Yes, sir.
Where's the discovery, sir?
Working on that. Thank you.
I also have before me a document on paper that is titled Discovery Certification. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant? Now, Mr. Keeling, before you sign and initial all of these documents that I just showed you, did your attorney, Mr. Lawrence, go over these documents with you?
Yes, sir.
And did you understand everything that Mr. Lawrence went over?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Keeling, are you a citizen of the United States?
Yes, sir. Jefferson State 1.
Any objections to State's Exhibit Number 1, Mr. Lawrence?
No, Your Honor.
No objections. State's Exhibit Number 1 will be admitted. And Mr. Keeling, your attorney, Mr. Lawrence, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yes, sir.
And Mr. Lawrence, your attorney, and Mr. Lawrence, your client, Mr. Keeling, that stands before us, is there any evidence that he is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
Oh, not at all, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Keeling, I will accept your plea of no contest. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. And I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
We do, Your Honor.
And what is the agreement?
For defendant's plea of no contest, the state is offered 90 days probated over 15 months with a $500 fine, 60 hours community service, and a theft class.
What's the court cost in this case?
277.
Okay, Mr. Keeling, the state is offering that you serve 90 days in Jefferson County Jail. However, you would not be required to serve any time in the Jefferson County Jail because the 90 days will be probated for a period of 15 months. During the 15-month probationary period, you'll be required to pay a fine of $500. Those court costs are $277. You'll be required to pay a probation fee of $6 a month, your analysis fee, $15 a month, reimbursement fee of $15, and you'll be required to reimburse Jefferson County for the appointed attorney's fees of $250. Now, your total monthly installments, that is the total amount that you will be required to pay each month, is $155 a month. Will you be able to pay the $155 each month?
Yes, sir.
You will also be required to perform 60 hours of community service. You'll be required to attend a deaf class, and you'll be required to adhere to the other standard terms and conditions of this probation. Now, Mr. Keeling, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Do you think that the state's offer is fair and just?
Yes, sir.
And do you accept the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Keeling, I'll follow the plea bargaining agreement that you have entered into with the state. Now, Mr. Keeling, this will conclude your case. You're gonna stand next to the bailiff, right at the end of the corner of this here counter,
Yes, sir.
and follow her direction. Once you follow her directions, then you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, I see it.
Your Honor.
Mr. Grove,
Yes, I didn't vote, ma'am. If we could hold mine.
hold yours. Okay,
Hold on, let me finish.
May I approach you?
okay, hold on a minute.
Honor?
Hold you speed. And Mr. Paget,
Yes, Your Honor, my client's on Zoom.
okay. Is that,
Mr. Hubel's case.
is that,
Beatrice.
Beatrice
Pollard?
Pollard?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay,
May I approach?
yes,
Okay.
that is. This is cause number 24 CCC Aura 0482, case of style of State of Texas versus Beatrice Louise Pollard. Ms. Pollard is appearing via Zoom. Ms. Pollard, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing fine, thanks for asking. And now, Ms. Pollard, you're represented in your case by your attorney, Attorney James Paget, who's present in court. Mr. Paget, how are you doing?
Doing well, Your Honor. Good morning.
Good morning. The state is represented in this case by Attorney Haley Simmons. Simmons, how are you doing?
I'm great, Judge. How are you?
I'm doing fine, thanks for asking. Mr. Paget, what is your announcement in Ms. Pollard's case?
Your Honor, we have received everything. We have not reviewed the video yet. So if you would allow 30 days, I now have an offer from Mr. Hubel, which I will relay to my client, and we will review the videotape, which we'll be doing within a week or so.
Okay, give us a reset date. November 4th. Case is reset to November 4th of 2024. Mr. Paget, you can get your reset hearing court. Is this your only case?
It should be your Honor.
Okay, once you get, no, yes, yeah, she has two cases.
Surprises.
Yes, she has
a
two
driving
cases.
License invalid.
24 CCCR 0454. So both of these cases will be reset till November 4th of 2024. And Ms. Pollard, your attorney, your bondsman will be given the reset dates. Stay in contact with your attorney and your bondsman. You're free to go and you have a blessed day. And Mr. Paget,
Sir, you too.
that you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day.
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
You're
All
welcome.
right, thank you.
You're welcome. Tavion Wiggins?
He's here,
Hey, this is cause number M328-762. Case of style of state of Texas versus Tavion Wiggins. Mr. Wiggins, is that your full name?
Yes.
How are you doing, Mr. Wiggins?
Good.
That's good. Now, Mr. Wiggins, you're represented in your case by your attorney, Reagan Minaldi. And Ms. Minaldi, how are you doing? I'm doing fine. Now, Ms. Minaldi, what is your announcement in Mr. Wiggins' case?
I need a reset to review the videos in his case. After I review those, I'm gonna determine whether he's eligible for pretrial diversion and submit an application to the DA's office. If that's the route I decide to take.
Okay, give us a reset. Give us a 30-day reset. In this case, we reset November 4, 2024. Ms. Minaldi, once you get your reset, is this you on the case?
Yes, sir.
You'll be free to go.
Thank you.
And Mr. Wiggins, you're gonna get your reset from your attorney. Once you get your reset, you'll be free to go as well. And Mr. Wiggins, you have a blessed, and Ms. Minaldi, you have a blessed day.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You want to give him a copy or no? Yeah. You don't think that's, yeah, I think it's, but, what is that?
Ronnie Pate. Okay, now, Mr. Pate, I have before me two documents. First document is titled Judge's Explanation of Rights to Defendants Without Attorney. You recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant? Right here?
Yes, sir.
And are these your initials on the line that state you'd like to apply for court-appointed attorney? I also have another document that is titled Affidavit of Indigence. Do you recognize this document? And on page 2 of the same document, there is a signature above the line that is titled Defendant Signature. Is this your signature?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Pate, before you sign and initial these documents, did you read the documents?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand what you read? And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Sure.
Now, Mr. Pate, I read your answers. You meet the eligibility requirements of a court-appointed attorney, and the attorney that will be appointed to represent you in this case is Attorney Benjamin Jeffries. Attorney Jeffries will be given information to contact you, and you will also be given information to contact him. Our court coordinator will give you that information. Once you get that information from the court coordinator, you'll be free to go, and you have a blessed day. Now, Mr. Pate, please have a seat on that first chair on the wall, and wait for your name to be called.
Yes, sir.
It's Ronnie Pate. Benjamin Jeffries. Okay. Here you go. Yeah. Jaden Riley. Miss, Mr. Riley, your full name is Jaden Michael Riley.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Riley, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Riley, you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God? Mr. Riley, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Mr. Riley?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking, Mr. Riley. You're represented in your case by your attorney, Marcus Wilkerson. Attorney Wilkerson, how are you
I'm
doing?
doing well there. Thank you.
And Mr. Wilkerson, do you waive a record in Mr. Riley's case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Riley, I have before me a document that is titled Information. This information was filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office. In this information, Mr. Riley, it alleges that you, Jaden Michael Riley, on or about December 16th of 2023, while you were operating a motor vehicle in a public place in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed the offense of driving while intoxicated, the class A misdemeanor offense of driving while intoxicated second. This information further alleges that prior to the commission of this offense, that on August 22nd of 2016, in cause number 23842 in the county court of Chambers County, Texas, that you were convicted of the offense relating to the operation of a motor vehicle while intoxicated. Mr. Riley, is that true?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, now, and to the offense of driving while intoxicated second, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
Now, are you pleading no contest freely and voluntarily? And are you pleading no contest because you do not wish to fight or contest the charges?
Sure.
Mr. Riley, I also have before me a document that is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishments. Do you recognize this document? On page 2 of the same document, there are a set of initials on a line next to a box that says check nolo contendere, which means no contest. Did you place your initials on this document? On page 3 of this same document, there's a signature above the line that is titled defendant. Is this your signature?
Yes, Your Honor.
And on the next document that's titled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal, do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant?
Yes, Your Honor.
At the top of this document, there are 2 boxes checked. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that statement?
Sir.
The second box that's checked states that you're waiving your right to an appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that statement? I also have a document that is titled Discovery Certification. You recognize this document?
Yes.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant? Mr. Riley, before you signed and initial all of the documents that I just showed you, did your attorney go over these documents with you? And did you understand everything that your attorney went over? And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Riley, are you a citizen of the United States?
Yes, sir.
State offer states one.
Any
No
objection? No objection. States exhibit number 1 will be admitted. Mr. Wilkerson, you've advised and counseled Mr. Riley. Is there any evidence that he is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No, Your Honor.
And Mr. Riley, your attorney, Mr. Wilkerson, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, Your Honor.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation? Mr. Riley, I will accept your plea of no contest. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
We do, Your Honor.
And what is the agreement?
In exchange for defendant's plea, the state's offering 180 days, probated over 15 months, $1,000 fine, 80 hours community service, DWI second standard conditions of probation with interlock, and a 72 hours is to begin on October 4th at 6 p.m.
This is the- Interlock. Mr. Wilkerson, were you appointed?
No, Your Honor, I was retained.
Okay. And what's the court call? Divided by 14. Okay. Mr. Riley, the state is offering that you serve 180 days in Jefferson County Jail, but you would not be required to serve this 180 days in the Jefferson County Jail because you'll be placed on probation for a period of 15 months. During the 15-month probationary period, you'll be required to pay a fine of $1,000 plus court costs of $392. You'll be required to pay a probation fee of $60 a month, a year analysis fee of $15 a month, a reimbursement fee of $15. You'll also be required to pay Jefferson County DWI education and initial evaluation fee of $125 on the day of the plea. Should a further evaluation be needed, you'll be required to pay an additional $50. Now, your total monthly installments, that is the total amount that you will be required to pay each month while you're on probation, is $181 a month. Will you be able to pay the $181 each month?
Yes, Your Honor.
You will also be required to perform 80 hours of community service, install an interlock device on any vehicle that you own or operate, attend and complete a DWI intervention class, have an alcohol assessment. You will also be required to serve 72 hours in the Jefferson County Jail, and that jail time is to begin on October 4th of 2024 at or before 6 p.m. Now, you also be required to adhere to the other standard terms and conditions of DWI probation. Mr. Riley, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just? And do you accept the state's offer?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Riley, I follow the plea bargain agreement that you have entered into with the state. Mr. Riley, this will conclude your case. You're going to stand in front of the court coordinator, follow the directions of the bailiff. Once you finish following the directions of the bailiff, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day.
Your Honor, just as a reminder to the court, we do have as an ancillary matter to this plea, we have a petition on file for an occupational driver's license.
Okay,
And so that had originally appeared on the docket at 11 a.m. this morning. I have the cause number if I can provide you.
could you give me a copy of that? Yeah. Is it 24 CCCV 0724?
Yes, Your Honor.
Oh, that's right. Price is supposed to be down here, Quentin,
Oh, you want me to give him it?
if he's available.
Okay.
Yeah, we have, there's another assistant district attorney.
Who
Who's
handled-
gonna handle it?
Okay.
Okay, just have a seat. Oh, no. Just get his prints. And just tell him to wait around.
Understood, Judge. I'm supposed to be in the 356 at 11 a.m. So I just wanted to make the court aware of it.
356, is that in Hardin County? Okay,
Yes.
okay.
No, right,
Oh, right. Okay.
A dismissal? Okay, who's,
Judge,
huh?
I have Attorney Long.
Good morning, Judge.
Okay, good morning. Okay, hold on. The root is being dismissed?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Okay, what cases?
Galen Mash, Judge, he's in custody and he's over at the drug court. We reset his case for till October 30th for the DA to evaluate whether it
Okay.
whether.
So you want to reset on the same day?
Yes, Judge.
Yeah, you can get it reset, just have a coordinator reset it.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, nice seeing
Nice to
Uh,
meet
you. Jordan Root, Mr. Root, your full name is Jordan Marcus. Is that DeRoot? You
DeRoot.
pronounce it DeRoot or DeRudy?
You're ready?
DeRuddy,
You're ready?
DeRuddy,
Yes, sir.
DeRuddy. Okay, now, Mr. DeRuddy, I have before me a dismissal of this case that has been filed by the district attorney's office. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Miss,
That's correct, Your
Simmons?
Honor.
Okay, and Mr. DeRuddy, I'm signing this dismissal as I speak. You'll be able to get a copy of this dismissal in a few seconds. Stand in front of the court coordinator. He'll give you a copy. Once you get a copy, you're free to go. And you have a blessed day. Okay. Ready? Nobody else is ready.
I don't hear him.
You don't have what? You don't have any pleas? Mr. Baker, did you, what are you doing in your case?
We filled out the plea paperwork and to send it to the ZA.
Okay,
I don't think they-
and Mr. Lawrence, what are you doing in your case?
Your Honor, Bernie Jones is here in the court. I thought I brought this up to the DA today too. And, I also have motions on file in that, about 6 or 7 motions that need to be ruled on before we go to trial.
Okay, so, this is that Bertie Jones?
She's here,
Come forward.
but there's a more
Hold
immediate
on,
problem.
but wait till she comes. You come on up, Miss Jones. Okay, now, Mr. Lawrence, what were you saying?
Okay, there's a more immediate problem on this, her main charge, which is DWI. The Austin Crime Lab, they took some blood at the, when she was arrested. The Austin Crime Lab found that there's no ethanol in her system.
Your Honor, we seem to be getting into the facts of the case here.
Yeah.
There are other matters at hand which we could discuss more privately. I have not spoken with Mr. Lawrence today, but I don't think this is the proper setting for this.
Yes.
Well, I need to meet with them, but what we need is for, and I actually have a motion, what is one of my motions on file, is to retest the blood, because one thing that you need to know.
Now, Mr. Lawrence, if you have a motion, I mean, we can just, all emotions, we can set those motions for hearings. We can set the motions for hearings.
Yes, that would be best, Your Honor, because
Okay.
I'm gonna want to try this case. I'll need a
Understand.
record in this case.
Understand. So I mean, but your motions are not set for a hearing today.
Right.
Okay, so what we need to do, you get with the court coordinator, she'll set a date for the, so the court reporter will be here to take the record. Okay?
Yes, you are. It's just that there's one thing I need to let the DA know about.
Okay, you can let the DA know, you can talk to the DA in the back, you don't have to talk to the DA,
It's real
and
simple.
negotiate before the bench. What I'm saying is, any negotiations that's done between you and the DA, the court is not and should not be involved in. All right,
Yes.
so you'll have an opportunity to talk to the prosecutor about whatever you need to talk to the prosecutor about. Okay, so
Sure.
at this point, if you want to talk to her this morning, if she has time, she may be willing to talk to you. If not, she can schedule a time to talk to you about the matter that you need to talk to her about.
Yes, you are.
Okay?
Well, like I say, one of the motions is to retest the blood.
Okay, but like I said, as I mentioned earlier, we'll have we'll have a hearing on your motions. Okay?
That's fine.
All right, so get with you'll have to get with our court coordinator to get a date so we can set these motions for you.
All right, fine, Your Honor.
You said you don't see any motions in the file?
I haven't received any motions as well, Your Honor.
Did
you file the motions? Because I have received nothing.
Well, I can sure make copies for you.
They're gonna need to be
filed as
well.
They need to be filed first.
I thought they had been. I know one of them was just filed day before yesterday, but,
Okay, so until that's done, we'll just give you a standard reset, give you time to get those motions filed.
all right.
And then you'll get back with the coordinator to set a date.
Okay, thank you.
All right, you're welcome.
Judge, I'm looking in the second phase, WI. What motion is referring to? There's a motion to prohibit, motion.
Okay, well, the motions, just set it for a hearing. Whatever motions he have, we'll hear those motions on that day. You're not gonna set
Okay,
a hearing for each day.
In regards to Mr. Wright.
Oh, hold on a minute. Jordan, heavy
In
client,
in fact, I believe I received correspondence from their wing of the office saying that,
from where?
from their wing of the office, from Clinton's.
Oh,
uh,
okay,
There, like, that we were to handle this anyway.
that y'all was to handle it?
I was gonna say, we do need to change one thing in order if the court wants to
I'll
set
talk
it
to you
for
after
next
I'm
week.
done.
Okay, we can do that.
uh,
Okay, we'll just reset it for next week.
You've got to get.
Just get with the coordinator.
Okay.
All right, we'll just reset it for next week. All right. He'll tell you what date. Okay. Mr. Grove, you finished with yours?
Yes, sir.
see, we have issues that we.
Okay, we need to reset for hearing them.
Okay. She says that y'all having some issues with Odyssey? Yeah, so the computer system is malfunctioning right now. So just have a seat and hopefully it comes back up. Okay, this is, Arthur L. Gooseby. How are you doing, Mr. Gooseby?
Good.
That's good. Now, Mr. Gooseby, you're represented in your case by your attorney, Attorney David Grove. Attorney Grove, how are you doing?
Real good. Thank you, Judge.
Okay, now this is cause number 23CCCR 2664. And Mr. Grove, what is your announcement in Mr. Gooseby's case?
This is our first court date, so I'd ask for one resetting, so we can finish investigating the case.
Okay, I see you were just appointed last month. Oh. We may have to send you your
That's
reset
fine.
to you with the problems we're having with our computer. Okay, so just stay in contact with your attorney, Mr. Gooseby. And stay in contact with your bondsman as well, because they will be giving notice of your reset dates. All right, so you're free to go, Mr. Gooseby, and you have a blessed day, and Mr. Grove, you're free to go as well, and you have a blessed day.
Thank you.
Man,
What you give them a 30-day reset?
yeah, it's gonna be 30 days, I told you, since we having a problem, you're gonna
That
say,
door is locked.
Mr. Gooseby, that door is locked, you're gonna have to go through the other door, only one door is open. All right,
The judges sent you the one on
Romero? Ryan Shane Romero? Mr. Romero. Your full name is Ryan Shane Romero.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Romero, would you please raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
Yes,
Mr. Romero, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Mr. Romero?
doing well this morning. How are you?
I'm doing fine, thanks for asking, Mr. Romero. You're represented in your case by your attorney, Attorney James Macon. Attorney Macon, how are you doing? It's a Monday.
It's Wednesday.
A Wednesday, okay. Okay, so, well, I guess say hump day, huh?
Yeah.
All right. Now, Mr. Macon, do you waive a record in Mr. Romero's case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Romero, I have before me on my computer a document that is titled information. This information was filed against you by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office. In this information, it alleges that you, Ryan Shan Romero, on or about December 27th of 2023, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed the class, well, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, operating a motor vehicle in a public place, that you committed the Class B misdemeanor offense of driving while intoxicated. You gotta check the box below that. That's the DWI. And Mr. Romero, do you understand what you have been charged with?
Yes, sir.
And to this charge, Mr. Romero, how do you plead? Guilty? Thank you. Not guilty or no contest? Now, are you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily?
Yes, Your Honor.
And are you pleading guilty because you are guilty?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Romero, I also have before me on my computer tablet a document that is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishments. It is also labeled as State's Exhibit Number 1. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, Your Honor.
And on this document, it states that this is a driving while intoxicated or DWI first, Class B misdemeanor, and the range of punishment confinement in jail for at least 72 hours, but not to exceed 180 days, or fine not to exceed $2,000, or both such fine and confinement. Do you understand the range of punishment for DWI first?
Yes, sir.
On page 2 of this same document, there are 2 sets of initials. One set of initials is your attorney's initials, and the other set of initials are Aura. Did you place your initials, RS Aura, on this document? on the line that's titled guilty. On page 3 of this same document, there's a signature above the line that is titled defendant. Is this your signature?
Yes, sir.
And on the next document that's titled trial court certification of the defendant's right of appeal, do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant?
Yes, sir.
At the top of this document, there are 2 boxes checked. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that statement?
Yes, sir.
The second box that's checked states that you're waiving your right to an appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that statement?
Yes, sir.
I also have before me a document that is titled, hold on a minute. Now, Mr. Babineau, you could put your, you could turn your video off, and then when your attorney comes, we'll let you know. Okay, now, Mr. Babineau, I also have a document that is titled Discovery Certification. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now, Mr. Babineau,
It's Romero.
oh, excuse me, what else? That was Babineau in there. Mr. Romero, on, also, I'm gonna go back to trial court certification of defendant's right of appeal. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case, you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that statement?
Yes, sir.
And the second box that's checked states that you're waiving or giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that statement?
Yes, sir.
Now, Mr. Romero, before you signed and initialed these documents, did your attorney go over these documents with you?
Yes, sir.
And did you understand everything that your attorney went over?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Romero, are you a citizen of the United States?
Yes, sir.
Stay for stage 1.
Any objections?
No objection.
No objection. States exhibit number 1 will be admitted. Mr. Macon, you have advised and counseled Mr. Romero. Is there any evidence that he is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No.
And Mr. Romero, your attorney, Mr. Macon, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Romero, I will accept your plea of guilty. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt, and I'll also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
We do, Your Honor.
And what is the agreement?
The agreement for defendant's plea of guilty was to 180 days probated over 15 months with a $500 fine, a 60 hours community service, the installation and maintaining of an interlock device, and DWI first and conditions of probation.
Okay, Mr. Romero. Oh, well, let's see. What is Mr. Romero's court cost? 3, 2. Mr. Romero, the state is offering that you serve 180 days in the Jefferson County Jail. However, you will not be required to serve any time in the Jefferson County Jail because you'll be placed on probation for a period of 15 months. During the 15-month probationary period, you'll be required to pay a fine of $500 for court costs of $392. You'll also be required to pay a DWI conviction fine of $100. Probation fee of $60 a month, a urinalysis fee of $15 a month, a reimbursement fee of $15. Your total monthly installments, that is the total amount that you will be required to pay each month, is $152 a month. will you be able to pay the $152 each month?
Yes, Your Honor.
You will also be required to perform 60 hours of community service. You'll be required to pay Jefferson County DW net initial evaluation fee of $125 on the day of the plea. Should a further evaluation be needed, you'll be required to pay an additional $50. You will also be required to install an interlock device on any vehicle that you own or operate. You'll be required to attend and complete a DWI education class. You'll be required to have an alcohol assessment and adhere to the other standard terms of DWI probation. Mr. Romero, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
Yes, Your Honor.
And do you accept the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Romero, I'll follow the plea bargain agreement that you have entered into with the state. Now, Mr. Romero, this will conclude your case. Please stand in front of the coordinator, follow the directions of the bailiff. Once you finish following the directions of the bailiff, you will be free to go. And you have a blessed day. And Mr. Macon, I think this is your only case.
Yes, Your Honor.
You'll be free to go as well, and you have a blessed day.
Thank you.
Mr. Boudreaux, are you ready? Okay. This is Antonio Babineau. Mr. Babineau is currently on Zoom. Mr. Babineau, this is cause number M326206. And Mr. Babineau is represented in his case by his attorney, Don Boudreaux. And Mr. Boudreaux, how are you doing?
Just fine.
And Mr. Babineau, how are you doing?
Okay, Your Honor.
Okay, I understand. And Mr. Gary Gilliam is here on behalf of the Jefferson County Probation Office. Mr. Gilliam, how are you doing? And state, is there an agreement in this case, or is there a recommendation?
There was an agreement in this case, Your Honor, but at this point, given the amount of time that has been allowed to the defendant to make his part of the agreement happen, is the position of the state and the probation office that this case needs to be set for a contested hearing.
Okay, so I see here that he was 30 days to show compliance. Defendant is pay half probation fee by September 25th of 2024, and to bring verification to the child and use all verifications of community service. Okay, so you want to set this for a contested hearing?
Yes, sir.
Okay, we're gonna have to get a hearing date. So it's gonna have a motion to revoke probation, contested hearing. Do we have a date? Okay, now, Mr. Boudreaux, we're gonna send your reset for the hearing to you. And so I think this is your only case today. Okay, you're free to go and you have a blessed day. And Mr. Babineau, stay in
Yes, sir.
contact with your attorney, your bondsman. They will be given notice of your court date for the
Okay.
contested hearing, and you need to be here in person on that day. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and the court is praying that you have a full and speedy recovery. You're
Yes.
free to go, and you have a blessed day.
Thank you very much, Your Honor.
And you're welcome, and Mr. Boudreaux, you're free to go as well. You have a blessed day. Your reset will be sent to you.
Yes, sir.
All right,
Thank you, Your Honor.
all right. Yes, Mr. Gilliam, you're free to go, and you have a blessed day as well.
Thank you, sir.
You got that the other day, you received that, that's on that guy. Remember the gentleman, we got the, hold on a minute. We received the Okay, this is cause number 24CCCR 0788, case of style of the state of Texas versus Siobhan Denise Sylvester. Ms. Sylvester, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
How are you doing, Ms. Sylvester?
Yes, sir.
I'm blessed as well. Thanks for asking, Ms. Sylvester. You represented by your attorney Marvin Lewis. Attorney Lewis, how are you doing?
I'm doing all right, Judge. How you doing?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Mr. Lewis, what is your announcement in Ms. Sylvester's case?
Judge, I've had conversations with the state. We have an agreement on this matter that will involve the JP reduction.
Okay,
I just need to get the exact amount with court costs that my client would need to come back with. And if we can just get some time so they can make those arrangements so she can come.
so we don't know the amount.
I just need to get the amount of the court costs. I have the amount for fine.
You gotta get that amount from the
JP.
the JP.
Um,
They won't know that until it's filed. Huh?
Right.
Okay.
So what's the it's probably just gonna be about another $100 added on or something like that.
I just want to make sure she had the exact amount.
Okay, yeah, we just need to know, we know what JP is gonna be?
Not at this point, Your Honor.
Was it in Beaumont?
Yeah.
What part of Beaumont?
Marlo. North end of my life.
Oh, okay, so it's gonna be JP, it's gonna be downstairs. So it's gonna be either, Judge Doyle or Judge Collins. So that's what they're gonna call it. Now, did you say how much she had to pay?
Well, as far as the fine, we know it's gonna be $300.
And so she's looking at about four something. How much time will you need to get there?
I can pay it by next week.
So we reset it a week? A week would be enough?
Okay.
Okay.
Pay the whole thing out. I can go ahead and get that.
Oh, you can pay it today? Oh, well, they gotta call it in
Yeah,
first.
right.
Yeah, okay, but once they call it in, then you can immediately go and pay it. Okay, no, it'll be at the JP. It's gonna be at one of them. It's gonna either be Doyle or Collins.
And when we receive proof of that, we can dismiss this.
Yeah, and yeah. So once she pays it, apparently she'll have to bring the receipt back up to the district attorney's office.
Right.
Make sure it gets to Mr.
I'll make sure it
Hubel.
gets to-
Yeah. Okay, because if not, they won't have no proof you paid it. And then they'll dismiss the case, which means that if you pay it before, it'll be let me see, today is that the second? I think that's October hold on a minute. It's gonna be reset a week. It's October the 2nd. Is Wednesday. Yes, it's gonna be reset to October 2nd. Now, if you pay it before October the 2nd, and they get proof, the state is gonna dismiss the case. You won't have to come back here on October 2nd. All right, so, this is, Sylvester. Siobhan Sylvester, October the 2nd. So you free to go? Stay in contact with your attorney and you have a blessed day.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay. Yeah, Jeremy, you want me to hold on that? Or?
You can hold on now. Maybe
Okay.
talk to state a little bit more.
Okay. Okay, I'll hold on it. Okay. We need to. This is cause number M 333-520, case of style of state of Texas versus Alfred Pollard. Mr. Pollard, is that your full name? How are you doing, Mr. Pollard? Can't be better than being blessed. Now, Mr. Pollard, last time you was here in June, well, I don't know if that was last time, but I see here that the case was reset to hire, for you to hire, and that was June 25th, 2024.
I talked to an attorney and everything, and I supposed to make my, what's that, where I'm looking for retainer fee,
Right,
this Friday, I'm supposed to get.
Okay.
This Friday. Then we're gonna take it from there.
let's reset him a week. We're gonna reset you a week. So now, if you're, that'll be October the 2nd, if your attorney that you talk to is retained, then your attorney is going to send the court a letter of representation, which means that once we see that, then the case is gonna be reset to a different date.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so right now, your case is reset till October 2nd, 2024.
Sound like a plan.
Now, Miss Redmond,
Sir.
we're gonna reset Alfred Pollard's case to October the 2nd for him to hire. And is the computer operating when you can give him a
Yes,
reset? Okay. You're gonna get your reset. Once you get your reset, you'll be free to go. Oh, okay.
Two people, married and
Trial.
by his trial and on the new hire announcement.
Okay. Let's see. Okay. Just Shaniel Ray Berry. Would you please come forward? Isn't that not?
It's Norm, I just can't remember the city.
Yeah. Okay, Mr. Berry, your attorney is currently in Sabine County. And he requested that your case be reset for a trial. So, oh, you can discuss that with your attorney. I'm just relaying a message that your attorney sent to the court. So that's not today, but so your case is going to be reset for a trial. You'll have time to talk to your attorney before that date. Do we have a trial date? Okay, so your case will be reset to November 18th for trial. You're gonna get your reset. Once you get your reset, you'll be free to go on your best day. Please have a seat in that first chair on the wall. Next case is Tyreus Sayas. Okay, Mr. Sayas. How do you pronounce your first name? Tyrus Trayvon Cyrus. Now your attorney, Mr. Kimler, just called the court. He's in Sabine County. And he requested that the court reset your case for trial. So your case is going to be set for trial on November 18th, 2024. Just have a seat in that second chair on the wall. Once you get your reset, you're free to go and you have a blessed day. I know. Next, Mr. Moore, Caleb D. Money Lee Moore. Please come forward. Mr. Moore, your attorney, right, Kimberly, is in court in Sabine County. He informed the court that he wanted your case reset for an announcement, since you just recently hired him. And so your case will be reset for an announcement. Give us an announcement date.
November 18th. We'll put on announcement on November.
Give us 30 days. I mean, that's kind of
November 4th.
November 4th. The day is put it in October. We never, just put it in October. Give us 30 days. Okay, just have a seat. She's gonna give you a date. Yeah. Okay, this is cause number 23CCCR 1322. Case of style, State of Texas versus Jeremy Jamal Morris. And Mr. Morris, how are you doing? That's good, Mr. Morris. You're represented in the case by your attorney, Marvin Lewis. Attorney Lewis, what is your announcement? Well, first of all, Mr. Lewis, how are you doing? And Mr. Lewis, what is your announcement in Mr. Morris's case?
Just we're ready to set this one for trial.
Okay, give us a trial date. Okay, that'll be reset November 18th, 2024. Mr. Lewis, you're gonna get your reset. Once you get your reset, you're free to go. And Mr. Morris, once you get your reset from your attorney, you'll be free to go as well, and you have a blessed day. All right,
Thank you.
you're welcome. Ready on yours, Mr. Lodge?
May I approach?
Yes. Alexis Blue?
Step outside.
Oh,
I can drive a little bit.
okay. This is cause number 24CCCR 1142. Case of style of State of Texas versus Alexis L. Blue. Ms. Blue, is that your full name? How are you doing, Ms. Blue? You okay? Okay, Ms. Blue, you're represented in your case by your attorney, Attorney Jennifer Delage. Mr. Delage, how are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good, Judge.
Well, that's good. What's the announcement?
Judge, I think we'd like just a little more time. I think the offer was shocking for her today, and so she'd like a little more time to consider it.
Okay. Give us a reset date.
What does?
It's announcement. Do you need some tissue? There you go. Ms. Casper, how are you doing?
23rd.
I'm doing fine.
This is Simon.
What is that date?
October 23rd.
Okay, this,
Due.
now we could put these cases on Fridays. I mean, Wednesdays and Fridays, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays.
Let's do October 30th.
Okay. This case will be reset October 30th, 2024. Once your case is reset, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day. Okay. Okay, you're welcome. And you have a blessed day as well, Mr. Lodge.
Thank you. And I'm
Yes, you're free to go. Yeah, we're ready. Jefferson County Court at Law number 2 is back in session. The court is in session in 2 cases. Both cases are styled the state of Texas versus Travian Eugene Carmen. The cases are cause numbers 23 CCCR 0272 and cause number 23 CCCR 0274.
That's correct.
Mr. Carmen, your full name is Travian Eugene Carmen.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Carmen, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Carmen, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Carmen, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Mr. Carmen?
Very good about you.
I'm doing fine, thanks for asking. Mr. Carmen, you represented in your cases by your attorney, Alderman Samuel. Attorney Samuel, how you doing?
I'm fine, sir.
That's good. Now, Mr. Samuel, do you waive a record in Mr. Carmen's cases?
I do, Your Honor. We do.
Mr. Carmen, in cause number 23 CCCR 0272, I have before me a document that is titled Information. This information was filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office. In this information, it alleges that you, Travian Eugene Carmen, on or about December 17 of 2022, while you operated a motor vehicle in a public place in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed the Class A misdemeanor offense of driving while intoxicated. Now, Mr. Hubel, state is abandoning the enhancement paragraph.
That's correct, Your Honor.
Okay, no. Mr. Carmen, the state is abandoning the enhancement paragraph. And what that means is, instead of being charged with a Class A misdemeanor, DWI, you will be charged with a lesser included offense, which is a Class B misdemeanor DWI. Do you understand that? Now, Mr. Carmen, to the Class B misdemeanor offense of driving while intoxicated, how do you plead guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Guilty.
Guilty? And are you pleading, I see his initials are on the line that says no contest, and the box is checked that says guilty. Initials is initial the wrong line.
Okay.
Yes, he right
Does the
there.
court accept a plea of no
Yeah,
contest?
he could plead either guilty or no contest. He
No,
doesn't.
we're pleading no contest, Your Honor.
Okay. Now, Mr. Carmen, you're entering a plea of no contest. Now, you're pleading no contest freely and voluntarily.
Free.
And are you pleading no contest because you do not wish to fight or contest the charges? Now, Mr. Carmen, I also have before me on my tablet a document that is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishment, is also labeled as State's Exhibit Number 1. Do you recognize this document? On page 2 of this same document, there's a set of initials on a line next to a box that's checked no contendere, which means no contest. Did you place your initials on this document?
Yes, sir.
On page 3 of this same document, there's a signature above the line that is titled Defendant. Is this your signature?
Yes, sir.
And on the next document that's titled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal, do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant?
Yes, sir.
At the top of this document, there are 2 boxes checked. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargaining case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that statement?
Yes, sir.
The second box that's checked states that you're waiving your right to an appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that statement?
Yes, sir.
Also have a document that is on paper. This document is titled Discovery Certification. Do you recognize this document? And is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant? Ms. Carmen, Mr. Carmen, before you sign and initial these documents, did your attorney go over these documents with you? And did you understand everything that your attorney went over? And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes.
Mr. Carmen, are you a citizen of the United States?
Yes, sir.
State,
From stage 1.
any objections?
No objection.
No objection. State's Exhibit Number 1 will be admitted. Mr. Samuel, you have advised and counseled Mr. Carmen. Is there any evidence that he is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No, sir, Your Honor.
And Mr. Carmen, your attorney, Mr. Samuel, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yes.
Mr. Carmen, I will accept your plea of no contest. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
We do, Your Honor.
And what is the agreement?
For defendant's plea no contest, the state is offered 15 months deferred probation with a $750 fine, 40 hours community service, and DWI standard condition of probation in addition to interlock device. The state will also be dismissing clause number 23 CCCR 0274 for forfeiture of the weapons involved in that case.
No, may I?
Oh, is somebody's radio on? Your phone on? Sir, you on the phone? Okay, okay. Hold on a minute, 23, C, 274. Got that. What's the courthouse? Three seven seven. Yeah, you had something that you wanted to say before we
Your
get
Honor.
started?
I just wanted to clarify on the forfeiture of the weapons. One of the weapons in the vehicle was not personally his, it was a legal weapon that someone left in the vehicle. It's my understanding he would not be able to reclaim any of the property, but the owner of the weapon could go to the police department and retrieve his weapon. Is that?
All the state's asking is that the defendant forfeit his right to the weapon.
His rights to the weapon? Okay. Do we have, and then let's see.
I'm not certain if that's the way the form is written.
Oh, here you go. Y'all can take a look at it.
Mhm.
Okay, now, Mr. Carmen, the state is offering that you serve 15 months on deferred adjudicated probation. During the 15-month probationary period, you'll be required to pay a fine of $750 plus court costs of $377. You'll be required to pay a DWI conviction fine of $100. You'll be required to pay a probation fee of $6 a month, or your analysis fee of $15 a month, reimbursement fee of $15. Your total, and you'll be required to pay Jefferson County DWI initial evaluation fee of $125 on the day of the plea. Should a further evaluation be needed, you'll be required to pay an additional $50. Your total monthly installments, that is, the total amount that you will be required to pay each month while you are on probation, is $169 a month. Will you be able to pay the $169 a month?
Yes, sir.
You will also be required to perform 40 hours of community service, install an interlock device on any vehicle that you own or operate, attend and complete a digital education class, have an alcohol assessment, adhere to the other standard terms and conditions of probation. And as part of this plea bargain, you'll be forfeiting your weapon to the Texas Department of Public Safety. Now, I have before me a motion to forfeit the weapon to the Texas Department of Public Safety. Mr. Carmen, do you recognize this motion?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant?
Yes, sir.
Now, Mr. Carmen, before you sign this document, did your attorney go over this document with you?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in this document true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
And you understand everything that's in this document?
Yes.
Okay. Now, Mr. Carmen, the court is going to grant this motion, forfeit the weapon in this motion to the Texas Department of Public Safety. Now, Mr. Carmen, also, as part of this plea bargain agreement, the state will be dismissing cause number 23CCCR 2774. Mr. Carmen, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Do you think that the state's offer in this case is fair and just?
Yes, sir.
And do you accept the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Carmen, I'll follow the plea bargain agreement that you have entered into with the state. Mr. Carmen, if you successfully complete this probationary period, this case will be dismissed. It will not result in conviction on your record, and you may qualify for a non-disclosure. You can talk to your attorney about the non-disclosure because he's quite competent in those matters. Now, Mr. Carmen, I see that besides your attorney, you came here with someone. And who did you come with? Your mother? How you doing, ma'am? I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Now, Mr. Carmen, also, I usually tell young people that comes before the court. I know that by you being young, you have at least a friend, or you have some friends that you consider your ride or die. You might even consider, you say that they'll be with you through thick and thin. But on days like today, when people need their ride or die, or somebody who's going to stick with them through thick and thin, we usually see a parent with them. And you know why we see that parent? Because that's your ride or die. Okay? That young lady was responsible for putting food on the table, roof over your head, clothes on your back, shoes on your feet. And I know if you was like Most young people like myself, we didn't listen to everything our parents said, told us. But I can assure you this, one fact, that whatever she told you that because she loved you. And she's here today because she loves you. Okay? So, I always tell people this, everybody's not your friend, everybody's not your partner. But when that lady says she got you, she got you. And so, you're blessed to have a mother like that. You know, you have some people who have parents that the parents don't show up when they're down and out. But she shows up every time. Okay, so you're blessed and you ought to thank God for that.
Yes.
Okay. And I know you're probably thinking that what happened today is gonna totally end your dreams, but it's not. You know, you're just in a little storm right now. But whatever happened today is not going to be the end of it. Somebody once said that when you're walking through a storm, hold your head high and don't be afraid of the dark. At the end of the storm, there's a golden sky and the sweet silver song of the Lord. Walk on through the wind, walk on through the rain, though your dreams be tossed and blown. Walk on with hope in your heart, and you'll never walk alone. Okay? So whatever you want to do in life, you still can do it. Okay, you can put this behind you. It'll be in the rearview mirror, and you'll be doing what you want to do in your life in the future. And so we're praying that you continue to stay on the right track, continue to get this behind you, and continue to make that young lady that's here with you proud of you. All right? And so this will conclude your case. You're going to stand in front of the coordinator, follow the directions of the bailiff. Once you finish following the directions of the bailiff, you're free to go. And you have a blessed day, Mr. Samuel. You have a blessed day.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. I don't have it. Oh, here it is. It just showed up. Oh, Mr. Andrew Hubel, you didn't put your board number on this dismissal? Yeah. Okay, thank you. And Mr. Harmon, you'll be able to get a copy of the dismissal before you leave? Luis Manuel Coro? Mr. Coro, your full name is Luis Manuel Coro? Mr. Coro, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Coro, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Mr. Coro, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Mr. Coro? That's good, Mr. Coro. You're represented in your case by your attorney Lori Perazzo. Attorney Perazzo, how are you doing?
I'm doing well, Your Honor. Thank you.
That's good. Okay. Miss Perazzo, do you waive a record in Mr. Coro's case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Coro, I have before me a document that is titled misdemeanor plea admonishment. Well, let me get to that's the second document. The first document I have is titled information. This information is on my computer, and on this information, it alleges that you, Luis Manuel Caro, on or about January 12th of 2024, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed to Class A misdemeanor offense of driving while intoxicated with an alcohol concentration level of 0.15 or more. Mr. Caro, do you understand what you have been charged with?
Yes, sir.
And to this charge, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contact.
Now, are you pleading no contest freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
And are you pleading no contest because you do not wish to fight or contest the charges?
Yes, sir.
You're gonna have to check Class A and erase.
So that's why I was confused, because it's his first.
Yeah, but the way they wrote the statute, they just have it as a Class A.
I know, but it looks, it's
I know.
on the, it's confusing because it says a DWI second, which is why.
Oh, no, it's a DWI with an alcohol concentration level 0.15 or more. It's not a second.
The top box.
So that's the one that.
That's for Class
Okay,
A.
Okay, so you just do like a straight Class A.
That's the
Okay,
way
gotcha.
it's classified in the penal
Okay,
code.
no, I understand. I
Yeah.
just didn't know because it was a DWI and we had to stay within the DWI boxes. And so, okay.
Because the boxes only say that it's a DWI B.
Well, it mentions the,
Yeah, it mentions the interlock and stuff like that, but
and
it
the
doesn't, but
0.15.
it just says that it's a Class B. But it's not a
Right,
Class
I know,
B.
and I was confused by that.
Yeah.
The language probably needs to be changed.
Yeah, I know.
The paperwork doesn't account for.
Yeah, we told them.
I know, I'm just, that's why I kept it, because it technically
understand.
it's a DWI first.
Right, right.
Do we
It's
need
still
to
the
initial
DWI
that?
first. No, I'll just,
That one doesn't, I don't know that one.
Erases,
It
yeah.
does.
I'll just erase.
Never know, there's some that do, some that don't.
Okay, now, Mr. Caro, I have before me a document that is titled misdemeanor plea admonishment, is also labeled as State's Exhibit number 1. Do you recognize this document?
Sir.
And this is a Class A misdemeanor. And it states that the range of punishment is confinement in jail for a term not to exceed 1 year, a fine not to exceed $4,000, or both such fine and confinement. Do you understand this range of punishment? On page 2 of the same document that you pled no contest to, is that correct? There's a set of initials, LC on the line next to a box to check no tendre, which means no contest. You place your initials on this document. On page 3 of the same document, there's a signature above the line that is titled defendant. Is this your signature? And on the next document that's titled trial court certification of defendant's right of appeal, do you recognize this document? And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant? At the top of this document, there are 2 boxes checked. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that statement? The second box that's checked states that you're waiving your right to an appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that statement? I also have before me a document that is titled discovery certification. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant? Mr. Caro, before you signed and initialed these documents that I just showed you, did your attorney go over these documents with you?
Yes, sir.
And did you read and understand everything in these documents?
Yes, sir.
Is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
And Mr. Caro, are you a citizen of the United States? Any,
Except for safe one.
any
No,
objections?
No objection.
No objections. State's Exhibit number 1 will be admitted. Ms. Barraza, you advised and counseled Mr. Caro. Is there any evidence that he is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No, Your Honor.
And Mr. Caro, your attorney, Mr. Talaj, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with her representation?
Yes, sir.
Has she provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Caro, I will accept your plea of no contest. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
We do, Your Honor.
And what is the agreement?
The agreement for defendant's plea is to 180 days prorated over 15 months with a $500 fine 50 hours community service, the installation, maintaining an airlock device, and DWI standard conditions of probation.
What is this court calls? 377? Ms. Raza, were you appointed in this case?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Caro, the state is offering that you serve 180 days in Jefferson County Jail, but you will not have to serve any time in the Jefferson County Jail because you'll be placed on probation for a period of 15 months. During the 15-month probationary period, you'll be required to pay a fine of $500 plus court costs of $377. You'll be required to pay DWI conviction fine of $100. You will also be required to pay a probation fee of $6,000 a month, a urine acid fee of $15 a month, reimbursement fee of $15, and you'll be required to reimburse Jefferson County Court appointed attorney's fees of $250. You'll also be required to pay Jefferson County DWI initial evaluation fee of $125 on the day of the plea. Should a further evaluation be needed, you'll be required to pay an additional $50. Your total monthly installments, that is the total amount that you will be required to pay each month while you are on probation, is $169 a month. Mr. Caro, will you be able to pay the $169 each month? Okay, you'll also be required to perform 50 hours of community service, install an interlock device or any vehicle that you own or operate, attend and complete a DW education class, have an alcohol assessment, and adhere to the other standard terms and conditions of DWI probation. Now, Mr. Caro, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just? Do you accept the state's offer? Mr. Caro, I'll follow the people in agreement that you have entered into with the state. Mr. Caro, this will conclude your case. Please stand in front of our court coordinator, follow the directions of the bailiff. Once you finish following the directions of the bailiff, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day. Ms. Barrazo, you're free to go as well and you have a blessed day. Oh, okay, Mr. Carver, you can come back up. How you doing, ma'am? Okay, thanks for coming down here with your son. Now, Mr. Caro, I know you heard statement I made to the previous gentleman and letting him know that I know young folks, they always have put a lot of stock in their friends and the friendships that they have with individuals. The stock that they put in them, to them is invaluable because they usually say, well, this person is my ride or die. This person will be with me through thick and thin. When I'm down and out, they'll be there. And so on the day when and it all looks like you down and out, you have your mother here today. Your friends are not here, okay? And the reason why your mother is here today is because she's your ride or die. She's the one that raised you as a child, put clothes on your back, food on the table, a table to put food on, put shoes on your feet, a roof over your head. She did all of those things because she loved you. And that's why she's here today, because she loves you. And she is your ride or die. And so you should be thankful that you have a mother like her, someone who has taken time out from her schedule. So I'm sure she could have been doing other things today. But she decided, no, there was nothing more important than to come down here today to be with my son. Because in times like this, my son needs me and I'm gonna be there. Okay, that's a mother's love. Okay, and you should be thankful because everybody don't have that mother's love. Okay, so you ought to thank God for that. And so, what happened here today is not the end, okay, of your life. You know, somebody say, "Oh man, I just ruined my life. All the things I wanted to do, I can't do it no more because I have this DWI conviction." Well, I'm here to tell you that's not true. You can put all this behind you. Now, it might be raining today, okay? It might be a storm today, but don't worry about that. Because when you're walking through a storm, just hold your head high and don't be afraid of the dark. At the end of the storm, there's a golden sky and a sweet silver song of the lark. Walk on through the wind, walk on through the rain, though your dreams be tossed and blown. Walk on with hope in your heart, and you never walk alone. Okay? Your dreams are just being tossed and blown today. They're not gone. Okay, so hold on to them. Okay, so whatever you want to do in life, you still can do it. Okay, you still can do it. You can put this behind you. There are people in this world who've done great things in life, and they did worse things than what happened to you today. That didn't hinder them. You know what? This is only a stumbling block, but you need to understand that you can take that stumbling block and make it a stepping stone so that you can reach any goal that you want to reach in life. Okay? So just hang in there, get this behind you, and make that lady proud. Okay, make her proud. All right. You're free to go. Have a blessed day.
Thank you.
Okay, you're free to go as well. You have a blessed day. And thanks for coming down here with your son, ma'am. You're welcome. Next case is clause number M332712. Case is style of state of Texas versus Carl Sampson Solomon. Mr. Carl Solomon was scheduled for court in County Court at Law number 2 this morning at 9 a.m. At or about 9 a.m. The court barely called his name. He did not answer. He has not appeared in court since the court has been in session.
Oh, whatever, okay.
Okay, so Mr. Sampson has not appeared since the court has been in session. The time now is 11:50 a.m. on today's date of September 25th of 2024. Ms. Bailiff, would you please call the name of Carl Solomon at the courthouse door? Okay, Carl Solomon's name was just called again at the courthouse door. Carl Solomon did not answer. A reasonable time has passed to give Mr. Solomon an opportunity to appear in the court. He has not appeared in court. State, do you have a response? That motion will be granted. Carl Solomon's bond will be forfeited and a warrant shall be issued for his arrest in clause number M332712. I think that's the only one.
No, it's the call.
What page?
On the left.
Next case is cause number M 333-466. Case is styled the state of Texas versus Garrett Powell. Garrett Powell was scheduled to be in court this morning at 9 AM. At or about 9 AM, the court's bailiff called the name of Garrett Powell at the courthouse door. Garrett Powell did not answer. A reasonable time has passed to give Mr. Powell an opportunity to appear in court. The time now is 11:51 AM on today's date, September 25th of 2024. Ms. Bailiff, would you please call the name of Garrett Powell at the courthouse door?
Yes, sir. Garrett Powell. Garrett Powell.
Garrett Powell's name was just called again at the courthouse door. Garrett Powell did not answer. A reasonable time has passed to give Mr. Powell an opportunity to appear in court. He is not appearing in court state. Do you have a motion? That motion will be granted. Garrett Powell bond will be forfeited and a warrant shall be issued for his arrest and cause number M 333-466. Okay, court will be in recess. That's number. Okay, this is cause numbers 24 CCCR 0206 and cause number 24 CCCR 1124. Both cases are styled state of Texas versus Troy Joseph Angel or Troy Joseph Angel Jr. Is that correct? Ms. Angel, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Angel, do you swear affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Angel, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Mr. Angel?
Good.
I'm doing fine, thanks for asking. Mr. Angel, in cause number 24 CCCR 0206, I have before me, well, before we get to the information, you are represented in your cases by your attorney, Attorney Ryan Matuska. Attorney Matuska, how are you doing? And Mr. Matuska, do you waive a record in Mr. Angel cases?
Do your honor, yes.
Okay, Mr. Angel, in cause number 24 CCCR 0206, I have before me an information. And in this information that was filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office, it alleges that you, Troy Joseph Angel Jr., on or about January 1st of 2024, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed the Class A misdemeanor offense of evading arrest detention. Mr. Angel, do you understand what you have been charged with?
Yes, sir.
And to this charge, Mr. Angel, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest? Now, you pleaded no contest freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
And are you pleading no contest because you do not wish to fight or contest the charges? Mr. Angel, I also have before me on my tablet a document that is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishments. Do you recognize this document?
Yes.
On page 2 of this same document, there are a set of initials TA that are on the line next to a box that's checked no contendere, which means no contest. Did you place your initials on this document?
Yeah.
On page 3 of this same document, there's a signature above the line that is titled Defendant. Is this your signature?
Yeah.
On the next document, there's title trial court certification of defendant's right of appeal. Do you recognize this document?
Yes.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant?
Yes.
At the top of this document, there are 2 boxes checked. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that statement?
Yes.
The second box that's checked states that you're waiving your right to an appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that statement? Mr. Angel, I also have a document on paper that is titled Discovery Certification. Do you recognize this document?
Yes.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant? Mr. Angel, before you signed and initialed these documents, did your attorney, Mr. Matuska, go over these documents with you?
Yes, sir.
And did you understand everything that Mr. Matuska went over?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Angel, are you a citizen of the United States? State, any objections?
No objection, Your Honor.
No objections. State's exhibit number 1 will be admitted. Mr. Matuska, you have advised and counseled Mr. Angel. Is there any evidence that he is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No evidence, Your Honor.
And Mr. Angel, your attorney, Mr. Matuska, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Angel, I will accept your plea of no contest. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. Will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement in this case?
We do, Your Honor.
And what is the agreement?
For defendants plead no contest, the state has offered 1 year deferred probation with a $400 fine and 50 hours community service. State will be dismissing cause number 24 CCCR 1124 for the plea on this case.
Mr. Matuska, were you appointed in this case?
Yes, sir.
So that's three. Huh? And what is his court cost?
277.
77. Ms. Angel, the state is offering that you serve 1 year deferred adjudicated probation. During the 1 year probationary period, you'll be required to pay a fine of $400 plus court costs of $277. You'll be required to pay a probation fee of $60 a month, a urinalysis fee of $15 a month, reimbursement fee of $15, and you'll be required to reimburse Jefferson County the court-appointed attorney's fees of $300. Your total monthly installments, that is the total amount that you'll be required to pay each month while you are on probation, is $172 a month. Will you be able to pay the $172 each month?
Yes, sir.
You will also be required to perform 50 hours of community service. You'll be required to adhere to the other standard terms and conditions of this probation, and the state will be dismissing cause number 24 CCCR 1124. Mr. Angel, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes,
Do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
yes,
And do you accept the state's offer?
yes.
Ms. Angel, I'll follow the plea bargaining agreement that you have entered into with the state. Now, Mr. Angel, if you successfully complete this probationary period, this case will be dismissed. It would not result in a conviction on your record, and you may qualify for non-disclosure. Mr. Angel, you can talk to your attorney about the non-disclosure because he's quite competent in those matters. Now, Mr. Angel, this will conclude your case. You will stand in front of our court coordinator, follow the directions of the bailiff. Once you finish following the directions of the bailiff, you'll be free to go, and you have a blessed day.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Like that one? You try? You do. You do this one? That one?
Henry Thomas?
But of that. I think so. I was just making sure that's what we started with that.
Okay, this is cause number 23 CCCR 1124.
The other one was a 2311124.
Yeah, this is-
24.
Right, I know. Yeah, the year is different, but it is, yeah. It's now, Mr. In the case of style, the state of Texas versus Henry Thomas. Mr. Thomas, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Thomas, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Thomas, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Thomas, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Mr. Thomas? That's good. Mr. Thomas, you are represented in your case by your attorney, Attorney Ryan Matuska. Attorney Matuska, do you waive a record in Mr. Thomas's case?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Thomas, I have before me a document that is titled Information Sheet. This information sheet was filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office. In this information sheet, it alleges that you, Henry Thomas, on or about May 1st of 2023, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed the Class A misdemeanor offense of criminal trespass to a habitation, Mr. Thomas. Do you understand what you have been charged with?
Yes.
And to this charge, Mr. Thomas, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest? Now, are you pleading no contest freely and voluntarily? And are you pleading no contest because you do not wish to fight or contest the charges? Mr. Thomas, I also have before me a document that is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishments. You recognize this document? On page 2 of this same document, there are a set of initials, HT, that are on a line next to a box that's checked no contendere, which means no contest. Did you place your initials on this document? And on the third page of the same document, there's a signature above the line that is titled Defendant. Is this your signature? And on the next document that's titled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal, do you recognize this document? And is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant? At the top of this document, there are 2 boxes checked. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that statement? The second box that's checked states that you're waiving your right to an appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that statement? I also have before me a document that is titled Discovery Certification. You recognize this document? And is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant? Mr. Thomas, before you signed and initialed these documents that I just showed you, did your attorney, Mr. Matuska, go over these documents with you?
Yes, sir.
And did you read and understand everything that Mr. Matuska went over? And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge? Mr. Thomas, are you a citizen of the United States?
Sir.
State offer states 1.
Any objections?
Objection.
No objection. States exhibit number 1 will be admitted. Mr. Matuska, you advised and counseled Mr. Thomas. Is there any evidence that he is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No evidence, Your Honor.
And Mr. Thomas, your attorney, Mr. Matuska, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation? Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation? Mr. Matuska, I will accept your plea of no contest. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
And what is that agreement?
In exchange for defendant's plea, we have offered 30 days credit for 7. Defendant is to turn himself in on October 7th, 2024, at or before 6 p.m.
Okay. What is the court cost in Mr. Thomas' case?
277.
Mr. Thomas, the state is offering that you serve 30 days in the Jefferson County Jail. However, you will be given credit for the 7 days that you have already served. And so the remaining 23 days of jail time will be served in the Jefferson County Jail, and that jail time is to begin on October 7th of 2024 at or before 6 p.m. The court cost in this case is $277. Are you able to pay the $277 court cost? Okay. So let me see his affidavit. Let me look at it. Okay. Affidavit of insurance. Yeah, he did an affidavit on 31st. Okay. Oh, yeah. Mr. Thomas, I have a document before me that is titled Jefferson County Affidavit of Indigence. I'm going to show this document, or actually going to give this document to your attorney who's going to show this document to you. Mr. Angel, do you recognize that document? Excuse me, Mr. Thomas, do you recognize that document?
Yes, sir.
On the back page of that same document, there's a signature above the line that is titled Defendant's Signature. Is that your signature? Yes? Okay, now, Mr. Thomas, is everything in that document still true and correct today?
Yeah.
Okay, Mr. Thomas, the court is going to find that you are indigent. And based on the finding of indigency pursuant to Article 42.15 of the Texas Code of Criminal Procedure, the court costs in this case will be waived. That means that you will not have to pay it because you're indigent. Do you understand that? Now, Mr. Thomas, do you understand the state's offer? Do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just? And do you accept the state's offer?
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Thomas, I will follow the plea bargain agreement that you have entered into with the state. This will conclude your case. You will stand in front of our court coordinator, follow her directions. Once you follow the directions of the bailiff, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day, and they will give you instructions as to what you should do on October the 7th when you show up at the Jefferson County Jail. All right, you have a blessed day.
Thank you.
And you are, and Mr. Matuska, you're free to go and you have a blessed day.
Thank you.
Oh, okay. And Mr. Matuska, we could give you a copy of this dismissal that you had on the previous case with Mr. Angel.
Thank you.
And the court will be in recess till 1:30. Prosecutors, you are excused.
You have an update on the one